I'll tell an example. If a sincere sadhaka is trying to feed this Krishna consciousness for the well-being of others, in that his well-being is already there. It's like Bhaktivedanta Thakur told Srila Prabhupada. Now, when you preach the science of Krishna consciousness, your consciousness is already protected through that. That you're already happy through that. That will give benefit whoever is hearing from you. Not just that, it will give benefit to you also. That's what he said. Bhaktivedanta Thakur. That means, you know what we discussed at the beginning? When dharma is there, every person carry different states. For example, tree through through her or his consciousness, it carries certain uh, it has certain swabhava, avurta. That means covered consciousness. Mountains, they also have consciousness, but it is covered. Covered consciousness. The tree, they all have consciousness, but it is all covered, right? And there's a consciousness. That means then the consciousness is slowly evolving. There's animals, there's birds, bees, aquatics. Consciousness is evolving. Four-legged animals. Consciousness is further evolving because when a draw when a dog near or dear one is dies, then she cries. Means the consciousness is developing little bit. That means they're aspiring for that relation, really hankering for that. Little, not fully, little. And slowly, human form of life will come. And in that human form of life, also, not everyone will give importance to relationship. Not everyone, even, no, I'll give another example. Even in Krishna consciousness, not everyone will give importance to relationship. Not everyone will aspire to please our Acharya, our spiritual master. Not everyone will lead their life for their happiness. Because everyone is coming through different backgrounds. That means they have their mentality. That means the truth is also taken through that mentality. That means, for example, if I'm wearing yellow glasses, then do I see yellow outside? Yes, I see yellow. Let's say if I wear red glasses, what do I see? I see red outside. I don't see black if I wear red glasses. That means the glasses is our mentality. And through that mentality, we are actually hearing Krishna consciousness. Through that understanding, we are trying to hear. Because when we are hearing Krishna consciousness through that mentality, what happens is some personalities will like it, some personality will do not like it. Because what is happening is they are not hearing through the lens of the acharyas, but rather they are hearing through the lens of their lens. That means they are wearing red glasses, they'll see red. Likewise, in Krishna consciousness, priorities, everyone has their priority. Because Jiva is individual na, and independent. Now, that is the mercy which is given by the Lord. That individuality and independence, every person will use for himself. This is putting up the glasses. Now, what is surrender? Removing those glasses and submitting to their words. And then they become life and soul. Just like Srila Prabhupada, exactly this is his consciousness. He said, I took this truth as my life and soul. And I just worked on it. I was not thinking that I'll establish 100 temples or more. That was not in his radar. His radar is only to please his master, his teacher. And his teacher's words, his spiritual master's words became his life and soul. Now, this is a topmost level. What is the state? Ashlishava padaratam pinasama, adarshana marmatam karato. Yata tata vidhatulam patam. Matu prana natastu sayava napara. Oh, my dear Lord, you are everything to me. You are my life and soul. You are my master. Everything belongs to you. Nothing is mine. That is a state. He is explaining. Okay. Now, this consciousness, this dharma, which we're talking about, this is a epitome. This is the highest. That means this is the state of consciousness of the internal energy of Srimati Radharani, his associates, and all the Guru Parampara. What is this? This is their heart. This is their life and soul. Now, as we began, right, the conversation, everyone has their own dharma. Oh, interesting. Yeah, day before yesterday, I was at Ongole for a day. And then I was trying to talk to the owner of an apartment. We wanted to go there, so I was trying to talk. I was asking how much is the rent, with what time it will be ready. He said, I don't want to tell any of those details. Then I asked, what is the reason behind it? He said, I did not do Group Pravesh because this is a new apartment. He has I think three flats or so, five flats total. And then he said that I have to do Group Pravesh for all the five flats. Then I will tell. Then I said, at least can you tell what is the estimate for the rent? He said, I will not tell anything. Only after 28, February 28, I will tell. Then I understood he is also following one kind of dharma which is congenial to him. Please understand. Just like I'll tell another example. Now there is a person in a village. Now that person he gives so much to the village. Everyone appreciates that person in the village. So that appreciation, through that appreciation, everyone is feeling that, oh, he's God for us, or he's supreme for us. Because he's taking care of everyone's needs in the village. That means to the people of that village, he is supreme. If that person goes to the next village, nobody knows in the next village. Please understand. So to in that village, whatever dharma which they are leading, which they are following, is the words which that person is telling. Please understand. And whatever that person is will tell, that is Brahmavakku for them. That means that is the life and soul to all the villagers. Because villagers have a relationship with that person, and whatever he says, they'll do. Because he is the master for them. Okay. But if the same person goes somewhere else, it's different. Because people in the forest, they worship some Devi Devata. And then through that worship, they have faith on that person. And for him, that Devata is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because his understanding is limited. Just like as I said, right? There's the consciousness of a tree. There's a consciousness of an animal. There's a consciousness of an aquatic. There's consciousness of different living entities, different jivas, 8,400,000 species. So everyone's levels are totally different. Their way of understanding or perceiving this truth is totally different. Likewise, if that person who will hear immediately about Krishna, he says, what is this? Krishna, for us, he is only everything. If the person from that village, he hears about Krishna consciousness, he says, oh, our master is everything for us. Just like Yamadutas. When Ajamil was kept in that state, Yamadutas were ready to take him back to Yamlok because he did sinful activities. But for them, Yamaraj is only everything. They didn't know anything about Krishna as Supreme Personality Godhead. Because their state is different. So why am I telling this, dear devotees? You should understand what are the qualities of Arjuna to really take this truth. Not a normal person, dear devotees. Actually, when we read chapter 1, utmost respect should be established towards Arjuna. Not an ordinary person. There are crores of people, but only Arjuna is hearing the truth. No one else is hearing. Please understand what is the qualification of this person. How much he pleased the Lord with his qualities, with his submission, with his service attitude. So, through different stages, everyone carries different dharmic principles. But what is the real dharma is to know the essence of everything. And whoever is coming to that understanding, oh, that means from that state, they will be elevated. Or if they take this truth more, close more to the heart, they will come back to Godhead. But it again depends on one's acceptance, on one's taking, on one's submission, on one's choices, on one's independence. Everything depends. Everything depends on that independence. Everything depends on how he's taking this truth. Because dharma is one. Dharmic principles are one. Yes, Bhagavatam says, Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya. Dharma swanashita punsam vikta kshenakato notpadetam shama eva kevala. But what is the real dharma? If one doesn't absorb in the process of hearing and chanting, in whatever he's doing, so-called dharma, through his prescribed duties, that is all in vain. Why it is all in vain? Vain in the sense, it is all in vain because that is not giving you the highest position or highest mm, understanding of the absolute truth. It's not giving the highest understanding. It is giving some partial understanding. For example, if a person is doing karma kanda, if he does it perfectly, he'll go to the heavenly planets because he's doing karma kanda. If a person is doing meditation, he'll go to impersonal liberation. There are organizations which does that. Isha, art of living. They do that. Their understanding is that. That means you do meditation, you go for them. What is the Lord? Lord is the energy. The energy personification is Lord Shiva. For them, that is the highest. That means that energy is a source. That means even that Lord Shiva, they worship Lord Shiva not through personal form. Again, that also impersonal level. That means they represent Lord Shiva, perceive Lord Shiva as the energy. And then through that energy, what do? They aspire for impersonal liberation. So Shiva Prabhupada actually shows very beautifully. Let me show you that picture also. Where Prabhupada, this is a mystic, This is a mystic yogi who's actually doing that. And that process of meditation is not that easy, it's difficult. For that, you have to be so many details. And then that too, even when you do that, you reach to one level, as I said, dharma is at different levels. Understanding of the absolute truth is at different levels. So this process of meditation, of going to impersonal liberation, that is also limited. That means over there you will not have any relations. You will not see person. You'll just see light. You just because that is the energy of the Lord, which is called as Brahma Jyoti. Which Bhagavatam explains where it is also. Dear devotee, it's very interesting. Bhagavatam tells where the Brahma Jyoti is there, how far it is from here. That's where all the impressionists they aspire. That is the process of meditation is that. There are certain schools for that who practice. As I said, right? Different levels, different grades. But whoever comes to Lord Chaitanya, they will receive the highest. Lord Chaitanya and his followers. Our beloved Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada and his followers. Whoever comes to that, that person receives the highest perfection. Because on top of that, there is nothing. You can say every school tells like that only. Every school, wherever you go, they say that ours is the top. Ours is the top. Ours is the top. See, I'll give another example and just conclude. Let's say you're going for school admission. You go to one school. They say, our school is top. You go to another school. They also say our school is top. You go to another school. They also tell our school is top. Now, which one you decide? Based on your requirements, what you want. As simple as that, na? Based on your requirement, you put your child in that school. You do some research, talk to some people. You're based on again, as I said, because you already have a lens. It means you already have a lens of where I need to put my child. You already have that. If you get that, you'll put it. As simple as that. Because how are you seeing? You're seeing through already persisted consciousness, already existing consciousness. You're not seeing through a new consciousness. But this Krishna consciousness is, we cannot see through our existing consciousness. Please understand. You should get that new consciousness. You should get that elevated spiritual consciousness. New can be anything. Shouldn't use the word called new. It should be elevated. Spiritual consciousness has to be there. When that spiritual consciousness is there, then only you'll understand what is this. That means the person should be clean slate. The only problem what is happening is we come with so much. We already have something in our plate, something in our slate, our shortcomings, our upbringing, our awareness. We already have that. So to remove that it becomes difficult. And then to establish that. That's why what generally everyone has one level of understanding. What Krishna consciousness is? Krishna consciousness means you do Ratha Yatra. Krishna consciousness means you get initiated. Krishna consciousness means you try to eat Krishna Prasad. Krishna consciousness means you try to chant your rounds. Krishna consciousness means do some book prasad distribution, do some book distribution. That is what people are perceiving. As I said, like different gradations, different understandings, different levels of seeing the truth. I'm not telling that is bad. We are not telling anything bad. Please understand here. If we said impersonalism bad, that is their understanding. Their way of taking the truth is that. Because we are not telling whoever is practicing Krishna consciousness, they're bad. No, we are not telling that. We're trying to give that. For example, if a person likes to speak to people or likes to do book distribution, then he says that Krishna consciousness is book distribution. If a person likes to cook, he says, you should eat only Krishna Prasad. If you're not eating Krishna Prasad, that is not good for you. That means he'll not talk to that person because he's not eating Krishna Prasad. This is narrow understanding. It's not complete understanding. So our dealings shouldn't be limited, dear devotees. What is happening is when we have that lens added, our dealings will be limited. Hare Krishna, I didn't even notice the time. I'll wind off now. We'll continue the same discussion. If anyone has any questions or would like to speak on this, you can speak for a couple of minutes. Any questions? We'll take any questions. Otherwise, we'll stop it here. Thank you.
Hare Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Amma Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, so as you just said, this consciousness, it's not should not be partial. Like we'll reform or we'll revise our consciousness with every aspects of the teachings, correct, Prabhu? That's what you meant, right? Like, as you give the example, like if someone likes to do book distribution, they think only this one is the Krishna consciousness, or if someone cooks, they think only, but this is not complete. Means, Prabhuji, um, so can you please explain a little bit more like about I I'd like to understand clearly, Prabhuji.
Explain about what aspect,
With
Amma?
this consciousness, Prabhu, the consciousness, you said this consciousness is not complete. Like, this, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, and also modification of our consciousness. And as you said, that new consciousness, whatever you have, you need to change to a new consciousness
Correct.
with Prabhupada's teaching and Acharya's teachings.
Correct.
So, Prabhuji, if you please explain tomorrow, should also
Definitely.
a bit
Definitely.
more be.
Harsha
I'll,
Prabhuji, I
I'll
just
speak more on this. This is very important, actually. Yes, Baldev Pro, nice to hear your voice.
Harsha Prabhuji. So as
Hare
Bhaswati
Krishna.
Mataji said, Prabhuji, out of the 9 processes of bhakti, we can take out only one to reach Krishna, right?
But that
So
has to be perfected.
yes. But it's not possible for me or somebody else to go through everything, as you mentioned, Mataji said, that probably by book distribution only with sincerity, he can go back to the Godhead.
Definitely. How to do book distribution, one should know. Through that book distribution also, he will go back home, back to Godhead. But for that also, there is a process.
Sure.
Then that also one has to become perfectionist. He should attain that perfection stage in that. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, he attained that perfection by hearing. Likewise, a person who is doing book distribution, he should be perfected in that. And then there are so many reasons and so many ways to be perfected in that.
Okay.
He has to be perfected. For example, I cannot proclaim that on one side I have material desires, on the other side I'm doing book distribution. That will give punya.
Okay.
That will not send us to the spiritual world because we have material desires. If the material desires are there in the heart and we are practicing Krishna consciousness, eventually before we leave the body, everything has to be purified completely. For example, if it is not purified now, do we think that it will be purified at the time of death? It will be difficult, right?
Yep.
Because we don't know when death will come. And we can say that, oh, I'll become perfect later, I'll become perfect tomorrow or next year or 5 years later. So there are different gradations. So that's what Prabhupada has been asked this question also. Swamiji, what is the best service which pleases you? And everybody was thinking that Prabhupada will tell book distribution. And whoever is doing cooking, he is thinking that cooking is the best service. Somebody is thinking deity worship is the best. Then Prabhupada immediately said, if you are doing that to please the spiritual master and Krishna completely, then that is the best service. It can be anything. It should be done on a selfless way. Ahituki apriyata. That perfectionist, that perfect state has to be established because that a sadhaka will do that if he is fully convinced that this is my life and so on. I'm not telling that this is wrong or that this is right. With what consciousness I'm doing it. That what matters. And we'll discuss more about this tomorrow. I just gave a synopsis on this.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, I have to quickly jump off. If I caused an inconvenience, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. As Veena Mataji was also there, I was trying to address her question also. Amma, if you can join tomorrow also, we'll discuss more about it. Okay? I hope you are hearing. Might not. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Joy.
Hey Krishna, let's do Prem Dhwani prayers. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Privajacharya Stotra Shada Abhay Charana Ravinda His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BB